You are welcome to this class again this morning. And we thank God for yet another day, another opportunity. This is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you for the past lesson you have had and for your patience. Today, don't forget we have had a look at antonyms. Now, today we want to look at the synonyms. There are so many words in English language that we just want to have a look at some of these words, synonyms. And what is the meaning of synonym? Synonym is a word that has the same meaning with another word, or nearly the same meaning, if not exactly the same meaning, nearly the same meaning with another word. That is what we call synonyms. We say a word is synonymous with another word. This word is synonymous with another word, meaning that it has the same meaning or nearly the same meaning with it. So that's why we have what I write on the chalkboard here. These are words having the same or nearly the same meaning with others. All right, let's start. We are looking at the first one, which is queer. Queer is strange, something odd, something unusual, something uncommon. That is queer. Now, maybe attitude or whatever. Now, the next one, inimical. Inimical means harmful or injurious. Then we have staunch. Staunch means strong. That's why people talk of staunch member of a particular political party. That's a strong man in that political party. Strong, formidable. All right, we have the next one, candid. Candid means frank or straightforward. In my own candid opinion, I think that man shouldn't have been treated the way he was treated. In my candid opinion. So candid means frank. Then we have intractable. Intractable, incurable, unmanageable, uncontrollable, complex and complicated. So all these means intractable. So you have to take note of that. Then we have supplications. Supplications. Now, supplication simply means prayers, or petitions, or entreaties, or pleas. Or pleas. Then wobbly. When you say something is wobbly, it's weak, unsteady, shaky, and feeble. Alright, we have bemused. Bemused. To be bemused means to be confused, baffled, amazed, bewildered, perplexed, puzzled. So, we have those words as the synonym of bemused. Then we have intermittent. Intermittent. Intermittent means at interval. Now and again. From time to time. Something that is not regular. Something that is not regular. So that is intermittent. Like, for instance, power supply, especially in Nigeria, we often have intermittent power supply because it's not regular. And the next 5 minutes, when you have light, and the next 5 minutes may be off, and we have that. So that is what it means, intermittent power supply. We often say that here. We are used to that. We are used to that. All right. Now the next one is deranged. To be deranged means to be disturbed, to be troubled, to be unbalanced. Well, perhaps mentally. So when you refer to a person as being mentally unbalanced, you know what that means? Is that simply means that person is not all right upstairs. All right. Then the next one, scanned. When you scan something, that's where you get the word scan on your system. Searched, examined, studied, or scrutinized. Then the next one is nurse. Now, the nurse we are talking about here is not noun. The noun, the one that is noun, is he or she that works with the doctor in a hospital. That is the nurse. That's for noun. But this one is not noun. Is verb. So you have nurture, to nurse something, to nurse an idea. You want to become. You are nursing an idea to become an engineer, and so on and so forth. So we have cherish or anticipate. Anticipate. Then visions, fancies, dreams, thoughts, hopes, imaginations, prospects. Then we have the next one, gauge, to gauge something. You know, people say, gauge it for me and let me know what I have there. So you have determined, measured, estimated, assessed. All right. The next one is latitude. When you are given a latitude to do something, latitude simply means freedom. The humdrum. Humdrum means monstrous, boring, something that is not exciting. Something that's not exciting is humdrum. It's boring. All right. So we have impeccable. Impeccable simply means faultless, perfect, error-free. We talk of people speaking impeccable English. Maybe somebody that is born in London now comes to Nigeria. You listen to the way he speaks. Oh, you say this man speaks impeccable English. So perfect, flawless, error-free English. All right. The next one is impertinence, rudeness, insolence, or brusque. When a person is said to be rude, so that person is impertinent. All right. Then we have abridged. To abridge something means to shorten. To shorten something. Abridged form of something. Maybe abridged form of a Quran or abridged form of a very voluminous book. All right. Then we have charge. Charge. If, for instance, there is a ghastly motor accident and maybe the whole vehicle is burnt. Now, people may talk of burnt people or the passengers, charred bodies. So the charred bodies have been taken to the burial ground. Charred means burnt. Please don't forget, burnt, charred, burnt. Concurrently, simultaneously, as you have it in your mathematics. Then we have wane, decline or diminish. When you talk of the popularity of a person waning, say his popularity has waned. It simply means it has diminished, it has declined. So we have considered. When you consider something, you thought over it, you deemed. All right, in some cases. Then fend for. To fend for, meaning to take care of, means to take care of, to support, to cater for, or provide for. We have the next one, which is engaged. To engage a person, employed, hired, taken on, or recruited. Then we have the next one, which is yearning. I hope you are catching what I'm saying. Yearning. Take note of each of the words. Craving, desire, and longing. All right. The next one here is eventually, finally, at last, in the end. Persistent, continual, continue, or ending, frequent. So word, strange, unusual, odd, or abnormal. It's something like the one we had a look at the other time, something similar. That's we have it there. Even the first one is like the first one, which is square. Something weird, strange. There's splendid, beautiful, impressive, and magnificent. Somebody asked you, how are you? Oh, say splendid. Beautiful, meaning beautiful, you are fine. You are okay. Then accomplished. Don't forget, I told you, when you have a voiceless consonant sound and it says ed, that ed is t. So you have accomplished. Accomplished, achieved, realized, fulfilled. So let's move to the next set of words. All right. let's look at these words. All right. The first one here is feeble. Feeble simply means, feasible. Feasible means possible or practicable. Possible or practicable. And that's why people talk of a feasibility study. They want to carry out feasibility study. Maybe you want to start manufacturing a product and you carry out feasibility study, meaning that how will you be able to succeed in that particular environment? So feasible means possible or practicable. All right. Profusely. When a man comes and begins to perspire, you ask him or her, why are you perspiring profusely, sweating profusely? Profusely means excessively. So you have mockingly, jokingly, teasingly, or playfully. I told him that mockingly. I wasn't serious about it. All right. Now the next one is flatter. To flatter means to cajole. Now you are trying to praise somebody hypocritically. Praising somebody hypocritically, meaning you are trying to flatter or cajole that person. All right. So augmented, increased. Now you can take this one to augment take this amount of money to augment the one I gave you yesterday, to increase. So we can have dexterity. Dexterity simply means skill. Skill. When a person is dexterous, it means the person is skillful. Maybe in what he or she is doing. Maybe an organist in the church. So very, very skillful, very, very dexterous. So skillful. All right, the next one, apprehend. To apprehend means to arrest. To apprehend means to arrest. Now the police have arrested the two criminals who came to steal at the chief's place. The police have arrested. Now take note of that statement, the police have. Now anytime you mention police, it is followed by a plural verb. Police is often followed by a plural verb, but you can singularize it if you like by saying the policeman. That means single. But when you just say police, it is plural. Police is plural. Please take note of that. Then we have conspicuous, noticeable, and then prominent. Noticeable and prominent. That's conspicuous. If, for instance, somebody has boil in a private part, nobody will see it. But if it is here, on the head of the person, it is very open to everybody to see. That is being conspicuous for everybody. So for something to be conspicuous simply means to be noticeable, to be prominent. Then we have retract. That statement is bad, it's wrong. Retract, so you retract, you withdraw. You withdraw. Then vigilant, watchful. If somebody wants you to be very vigilant, it means you have to be very watchful so that you don't fall into the trap set by your enemy. So be vigilant, be watchful. All right. Endorse. To endorse means to approve. That's very simple. So the letter has endorsed, has received my endorsement, which means the letter has received my approval. So go ahead with it. So the next one is preeminent. To be preeminent means to be outstanding. Then most important to be outstanding, or most important to be most important. So then we have vivacious. To be vivacious means lively. Now you can refer to a city as being vivacious. You can refer to a single person as being vivacious. Not to be dull, but lively, vivacious. Indefatigable, untiring. Oh, we like to welcome our chairman, the indefatigable chairman, meaning that he's always there or move. So it's not tired. It's not tired. So that is an indefatigable leader. That's a leader that is always there for you. A leader that is always on the move. A leader that will never say no to things that need to be done valiantly and then bravely. All right. Then we have tractable. Tractable, obedient or docile. Obedient or docile. When you say docility, to be docile means to be obedient, to be tractable. Sometimes it may also means something to be fearful. It may mean that too, to be fearful. So that when you must not leave that place, and you don't leave the place because you have been told not to. Yes, it is obedience, but yes, it can also mean being fearful or timorous. Now, the next one is ignominious. To be ignominious means humiliating, shameful, or ignoble. Ignominious, humiliating, shameful, or ignoble. Now, a person can make an ignominious remark, and so on and so forth. Then we have conferred, gave, awarded. That the authority conferred on me, that is, the authority given you, the authority awarded you to act in a particular capacity. All right. Then we have posthumous. Posthumous means after death. When something happens after your death, you say that thing happened posthumously. For instance, the person is to be promoted, and unfortunately, the person falls sick and dies, and the promotion comes after his death. You say the man has been promoted posthumously. Has been promoted posthumously. Then we have procure. To procure means to get or acquire. Very simple. To procure. Procurement of planting material, farmers' material. So procurement, get or acquire. Then third. To third means to prevent. Okay, the lady gave me a graphic description of the place she lives, or the place where she lives. Graphic means vivid. She gave me a very graphic description of her place. So vivid. So meaning that I can't miss the road. Now we have countenance. Sorry, there is an error in the spelling. It can't be that. So that's countenance. Now, I mean face or appearance. Mean face, it can mean face or appearance. All right, machination. Machination can be plot or plan. So, enemies, machination, and all that. So we have nocturnal. Nocturnal. Nocturnal means at night. You see, there are some birds that move. There are some birds that move in the night, like bats. Such birds are referred to as nocturnal birds. They find it difficult to move by day, during the day. That they find it very, very inconvenient to move at night. You refer to them as nocturnal birds. Then we have diurnal. Diurnal by day. By day. By day. This nocturnal, this is diurnal. Now, diurnal means by day. Something that happens by day, not at night. So, and there are some birds too. And there are some animals that are diurnal in nature. So, then the next thing, unscathed. Unscathed. Not damaged. Uninjured. When you say a person escaped unscathed, meaning that he was not injured, he was not badly attacked, or the thing was not damaged, unscathed. Then we have demeanor. Demeanor. Demeanor means behavior. or expression. Conduct. Conduct. Now, people talk of misdemeanor. Misdemeanor means misconduct. Okay, let me put this thing here. This A-O-U-R. Misdemeanor. That is misbehavior, misconduct. So that's it. Then we have taciturn. We have taciturn. Taciturn means laconic or reticent. What is reticent? What is laconic? What is taciturn? It is the opposite of garrulous and loquacious. When a person talks too much, every time he talks, he doesn't get tired when it comes to talking. But the opposite, somebody that is reserved, he doesn't speak much, very terse. Now you say the person is very taciturn, or laconic, or reticent. Subsist. Then for some people you have exist or remain. You have condolence. I told you yesterday that word is pronounced condolence. We pay condolence visit to the bereaved. And what do we mean by the bereaved? The bereaved are the people mourning a dead person. The bereaved are the people mourning a dead person. The dead person is called the deceased. The dead person is called the deceased. But the people mourning him or her are the bereaved. So you pay condolence visit to such people. So inadvertently, your name is missing on the list. Sorry, it is inadvertently done. Inadvertently means unintentionally. Inadvertently means unintentionally. Inadvertently means or not deliberately. You know, when they say something is intentional, you willingly, you willfully, you deliberately do it. But when it is inadvertently done, meaning that you are not, you don't do it intentionally. So we have relinquish. Now the man did not want to relinquish his post, so he was kicked out of the office. So because he did not want to relinquish it, now to relinquish means to give up. Then we have obstinate. When the person is said to be obstinate, it's a very stubborn, obdurate, and contumacious. That is being obstinate. Do it, and he doesn't do it. Go there, he doesn't want to. And so you say the person is obstinate, very stubborn, obdurate, or contumacious. Now we have exhaust. You know, I have exhausted the paper you gave to me yesterday. To exhaust means to finish. Exhaust. Now the thing has been exhausted. It has been finished. Alright. Then the next one, corroborate. Corroborate. To reinforce or to support. You know, when a person is saying something and you just cut him, you say, sorry, I want to corroborate what he has said. It is true. Last year, I was there when that thing happened, and this is what I said, and all that. You are corroborating, you are reinforcing. You know, you are supporting what the person has said. Then, meritorious. Meritorious. You see, the person retired last week after meritoriously serving the Oyo State government. Meritorious means commendable. That's meritorious service. Then we talk of fragile. Fragile. Sometimes you see something they write it there. Very fragile. Meaning that you have to be very careful about it. You have to be very careful about it because it's fragile, it's weak, it's feeble, easily broken or breakable. Easily broken or breakable. Then we have sumptuous. We have sumptuous. Look at it. S-U-M-P-T-U-O-U-S. Sumptuous means expensive. There is that story in the Bible. A rich man who fared sumptuously. Don't forget there was another man who was abjectly poor, by name Lazarus. But the other man was cerebrally wealthy, and he used to feed sumptuously. So the sumptuous means to be expensive. When you are being fed sumptuously, somebody is feeding you expensively. So spending a lot of money to prepare the dish or the food. So that is that. So we want to see more of this. So we want to look at these ones. Now let me say something in addition to what I said earlier. It is not only in your lessons and structure that you come across synonyms. You also come across them in comprehension passages. And that's what you call contextual meaning of the word. Sometimes it may not look like the ones you find in the lesson structure, because we are talking about contextual meaning, what it means in that very passage. So that's why some of them are useful for the contextual meaning of words. The majority of them are for the lexis and structure. So that's why in most cases we see 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of the synonyms. Okay, let's start. Again, we have decipher. To decipher means to interpret. To interpret. That decipher, I couldn't interpret what he wrote. I couldn't decipher what he sent to me. So then we have mania. For a person to be doing mania job, a university graduate found where blocks are being molded. That's a kind of mania job. Mean, undignified, servile, humiliating. Then we have the next term, which is protracted. Protracted means prolonged, elongated, long drawn, unending. Now, naturally, a woman is expected to be pregnant, and after the 9th month, she delivers. But a situation where you see a woman carrying a pregnancy around for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that is protracted pregnancy. Protracted pregnancy. And that is not desirable anyway. All right. Now we have the next one, plight. Plight. Plight means a predicament. It simply means predicament. Where you are passing through tough time. Now, difficult condition, unpleasant situation, ordeal. So that's what you mean by plight. So you should let your boss know about what you are passing through. Tell him or tell her about your plight. And I believe he or she will help you. So that's it. That's what we mean by plight, predicament, difficult condition, unpleasant situation, ordeal. Some people may call it problem. Yes, something like that too. It also means that. It also means problem. All right. Now, paves, prepares, clears or opens. Once you say somebody paves the way. Now, the current students pave the way for the incoming ones. So, pave the way, prepares, clears or opens. Then we have apex. Apex is top. Top. The zenith. You know there's a bank called Zenith Bank. But it means the top, the height, the acme, the highest point, the summit, the pinnacle, and of course, the climax. So it's talking, all are talking about, all of them mean apex. All of them mean apex. So we have severe. Now, when a person is said to have a severe headache, it's very enormous, very intense, very heavy, tremendous, great, serious, and extreme. Serious and extreme. All right. We have elusive. Elusive, evasive, evanescent, slippery, difficult to recall. When you say something, now if a person has been trying to achieve something and the thing continues to be elusive, it means that he or she has not actually got that thing. That's what it means. It is still elusive. All right. We have stern. Stern, strict or harsh. People talk of stern-looking policemen. Stern-looking policemen with their guns in their hands, ready to shoot whoever dares them. All right. So stern, strict, harsh. Then we have calmness. Calmness. Of course, you know what that means when the situation is said to be calm. Now, equanimity, composure, coolness, tranquility, and placidity. You know, when you say maybe the sea is placid. It's placid, very placid, very cool, very calm. It's not tempestuous. It's not It's not tempestuous, and it's not stormy. So it is placid, calm, cool, tranquil. All right. You know, these words, they are all nouns, but we have the adjective of, we can say, compose yourself. All right. Cool down. All right. Tranquil situation. All right. Placid. Yes. So those are adjectives. But now we have a noun here. All right. We have puzzlement. Puzzlement. That's amazement. Amazement. Wonderment. Bewilderment. And surprise. You know, the surprise you have there is a noun surprise. It's the noun one. It's not a verb. It's not verb, but noun. You know, surprise can be a verb, surprise can be a noun. But as it is there, in that sentence, in that list, it is a noun. All right, we have turning. Turning. You know, turning on its own. Then you change this to adjective. Become turning. Then difficult, tricky, and naughty. Turning issue. Difficult issue. All right, naughty issue. Then we have industry. Industry. This industry does not refer to a place where they produce some goods, no, but it simply means hard work. Hard work. When you refer to industry, hard work. Now, meaning that adjective will be industrious. When you have industrious, then you have a hard work, hard working, industrious, hard working. But industry on its own, we have hard work. This is now hard working in that sense is adjective, and industrious is also adjective. All right. Maybe I can even include it here. I can even include it here. So as we have industry, which is noun, we have industrious, which is a adjective. All right. Then the next one is indisputably. Indisputably. Indisputably means you cannot dispute it. And something you cannot dispute is clear. You cannot dispute is clear. It's unquestionable. So clearly, undoubtedly, unquestionably, certainly, surely, unarguably. Something that is sure, something that is evident for everybody to see. Then we have helter skelter. You know, people say it. These people were running scatter, all right, in a disorderly manner, in disorder, widely, in a disorganized way or manner, all right. It was running scatter, not knowing where they are going. They are not organized. They are not organized. They are not well arranged. All right. Then we have insolvent. For a person to be insolvent simply means a person is bankrupt. Bankrupt. He or she is unable to pay his or her debt. Maybe old bank or an individual. So the man is insolvent, is bankrupt, is unable to pay his debt. Then we have shady, dishonest. What? I don't want to involve myself in such a shady business. So count me out. Count me out. I'm not for that. The business is shady. I can't involve myself in it. So shady means dishonest. So we have rare, scarce, uncommon. When you say something is rare, very scarce, very uncommon. Then gibberish. Look at it, gibberish. Meaningless. Gibberish. Then we have effeminate. When a man is referred to as being effeminate, it simply means that man is womanish. Is unmanly. Of course, you know what that means. When a man is behaving like a woman, he or she, he is referred to, not she is not there. He is referred to as being effeminate. All right. Then we have brusque, very brusque, rude, and insolent. Of course, you know that one. Then the next one, absurd. Absurd. To be absurd means to be ridiculous, irrational, indecorous, farcical, absurd. That's too absurd. Why did he tell you that? Why didn't he say the truth? Why did he do that way? And so on and so forth. Very absurd. Absurd remarks sometimes. All right. We have auspicious. Auspicious means favorable. Favorable. Auspicious means favorable. All right. Then alter. So alter simply means to change. To change. Why did you alter this mark? I gave you 20 and you alter it. Why? So to alter means to change. So then bury. Bury means inter. That's why if you don't want to use the word bury, the man will be interred in his hometown. That is the person that just died. He will be buried or interred in his hometown. Now, burial. That's why people say, oh, if you've been listening to radio, you say interment follows immediately at his residence. Interment follow. Interment simply means burial. All right. Then we have another one that's related to that. That is exhume. That's exhume. To exhume means to dig out. Now, let me give you a vivid example of that. If a person is mysteriously dead, and people begin to wonder what might have caused the death of this man, and maybe hurriedly they interred the man, and members of the family, the dead man's family, gather together to discuss why. But he wasn't sick. So we want to find out what killed him. Now, they can go there, ask them to go and exhume the body. To exhume the body means to dig out. They want to carry out what we call also autopsy or post-mortem examination. We want to carry out autopsy or post-mortem examination. Autopsy or post-mortem examination simply means they want to know the cause of his or her death. Maybe heart attack, maybe poison, maybe whatever. But that's the essence in most cases. They want to know what has caused the death of the man. So they exhume the body. All right. Then apparent. Apparent means obvious. Apparent means obvious. Don't forget, I've told you that sometimes contextual meaning of words may run contrary to the less than structured type of meaning, but we are bringing everything together as far as past questions are concerned. As far as past questions are concerned, anything from 2009 to 2018. So please watch out. Then we have the next one, benevolent. A benevolent person is a kind person. Sorry, and humane, not human. Humane. You see, the man is very humane, very kind. There's another word they use for it. Let me write it. Benignant. So you can still use that one for it, depending on the context sometimes. The context in the comprehension passage. And to condone means to tolerate. To condone means. Then we have chagrin. Don't forget, when I was teaching the other time, I said it. When we were having a look at consonant sounds, that's thesaurus. This is one of those words that have CH, but the CH is not pronounced as ch, but rather it is pronounced as sh. So we have chagrin, disappointment or annoyance. Don't forget, other words in that category are chassis, chalet, nonchalant, champagne, machine, and some other words like that. So we have to take note of them. It is true that they have CH, but they are pronounced SH. So let's see more. Again, we want to have a look at these ones. We want to have a look at these ones in addition to those ones you have written. Now, the very first one here is cozy. Cozy. When you say the man lives in a very cozy environment, comfortable or inviting. Comfortable or inviting. This inviting is not continuous verb, it is adjective. It's not continuous verb, it's adjective. You know, continuous verb, we have ing, but this one is adjective. So, cozy, comfortable, then inviting. Then erudite. Erudite is a learner, a very great learner. You know, here you meet my friends, he's an erudite scholar. So, he's a lawyer too. So, we have that. Erudite. Very brilliant person. All right, then we look at the next one, which is allude. To allude means to refer. When you are alluding, when you are talking, for instance, okay, wake up that Jonah. Wake up Jonah. Now, Jonah we are told that it's a Bible character, one of the characters in the Bible. And you know what happened to him when God sent him to go and preach to the people of Nineveh. So he went down to Joppa. He wanted to take a ship going to Tarshish. And you know what happened to him? So, on the journey. So he was sleeping. And the people were in trouble. Each was in trouble, but because it was. So, you, Jonah. So you are referring to the Bible. So you are alluding to the Bible. Jonah there, you are alluding to the Bible. Meaning you are referring to the Bible. So allusion means reference. So we have disown. So to disown means to reject. Alright? To scorn or repudiate. to still reject, to scorn, to reject, or repudiate. Then we have colossal. You see, that word is taken from a noun from one of the Shakespeare's plays. That is Julius Caesar. There is a man in that play called Colossus. So, I'm very huge and Goliathic. Very, very huge and Goliathic. So, it's from that Colossus, which is a noun, that have this adjective, colossal. Colossal means huge. Give me huge. Colossal sum of money, huge, humongous, or gigantic. It may also mean gigantic in some cases, depending on how it is used in the passage. Now, these two are more relevant than the other one. Now we have emancipation. Emancipation. That is free to, emancipate means to free or to liberate. A lot of people call this one liberation. It's liberation. So, liberation, freedom, emancipation. Then we have the next one, mandatory. When you say something is mandatory, it's a must for you to do. So that's compulsory. Compulsory. Alright. Then we have grabbing. Grabby shoe. You know, they have dull type of shoe that looks like this. That's grubby. Now, filthy or dirty. Then you have euphoria. Euphoria means excitement. When you are showering euphoria, an accolade on somebody for his exceptional performance in an area of human endeavor. So you are excited about him or her. So that's euphoria, excitement. You know, when you are excited, you know what that means? You are happy, extremely happy. So the noun form is excitement. So we have extravagant. To be extravagant means to be wasteful and prodigal. To spend money like water. To spend money like water. Without looking at the face of the money. That's how Yoruba people say it. Spending money like water. So the man is very extravagant. That was a program on BCOS sometimes ago, about 20, 30 years ago, or 30, 40 years ago. Alright. You know, it was titled Music's Extravaganza. Music's Extravaganza. Made for the whole hour, it will be music. It will be music. You just be playing music. No announcement, no advertisement, nothing. No symposium, nothing. Music. That music extravaganza. So it's from that we have this extravagant. Extravaganza there, of course you know it's noun. This is adjective. Alright. Music extravaganza. Alright, we have wasteful and prodigal. So we have innovate. To innovate means to weaken. To weaken. To remove the strength from. That is weakening. To weaken. Then elucidate. To elucidate simply means to explain. Very simple. So elucidate means to explain. Then fathom. Fathom, understand or comprehend. You can't fathom what I'm saying until you witness it yourself. You can't understand it. You can't comprehend it. So comprehend, of course you know that's where they take the word comprehension. Comprehend is verb. So comprehension is noun. So we have fortitude. Fortitude, strength. If a person is bereaved and people come to him, because I said a person, and people come to him to console and condole him, so what? God will grant you the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. Fortitude means strength. All right. Then we have another one which looks like exercise, but it's not exercise; it's exercise. To exercise means to cast out. To cast out. If a person is possessed, and you want to show that God has given you that gift of deliverance. You know, we have some pastors that are deliverance ministers. So you say, I exorcise you demons from. Get out of him or get out of her. You are exorcising the demon. Then we have plaintiff. Plaintiff is the complainant. Who's a complainant? A complainant is somebody who is wronged, who is offended, and he or she cannot stomach the offense. So he goes to court to sue the person. who has offended you. Now you are the plaintiff. The person you have taken to court or sued is the defendant. So we have plaintiff, complainant. Then incarcerated. Very simple. Incarceration means imprisoned. The man has been incarcerated for an undisclosed offense. You know what I mean? When I say undisclosed offense, it simply means the public, we are not known, we do not know the offense he or she has committed before his or her incarceration. So the person has been incarcerated, has been imprisoned. Then we have the next one, very simple too, competent, capable. And competence means capability. Competent, capable. And competence means capability. So we have anticipated. To anticipate means to expect or foresee. To expect or foresee. Then the next one is incorruptible. There is a play written by Olulagoke. And the title of that play is Incorruptible Judge. The Incorruptible Judge. So, to be incorruptible means to be honest. Then the next one is audacious. Some you say it's audacious, you are still on the way. Audacious, brave, bold, intrepid, fearless, and courageous. Alright? You are not a fearful one. You are not timorous. You are not timid. That's what it means. Alright. Derogatory. When we were having a look at oral English yesterday or day before, I don't know the day, but I have mentioned this word, derogatory. Derogatory. This is the word that is stressed. Derogatory means belittling. Derogatory statement. You are trying to belittle that person, and he or she may not take it lie low with you because you are trying to bring him or her down. Okay? Then we have the next one, irrevocable. Irrevocable means final or irreversible. The decision has been taken and it is irrevocable. Meaning, I have taken a decision and I'm not going back from what I've done. The die is already cast and the Rubicon is crossed. That's an idiom for it. It's an idiom. The die is already cast and the Rubicon is crossed. So I have taken the decision, I have made up my mind, and it is irreversible. Alright, the next one is hypocrisy. Hypocrisy simply means insincerity. When you are accused of being hypocritical, it means you are not sincere. Maybe your dealings with people, your proposition, your attitude, and all that. Now the next one is reprisal. Reprisal is retaliation. If, for instance, a group of people attack you, and perhaps some of you were killed, you say, hey, okay, don't worry. And you go to prepare to face them, and you go to attack them when they least expect. That's a kind of reprisal attack. We call it a reprisal attack. To retaliate. In other words, you can say that's retaliatory attack. To retaliate what they have done to you. That's reprisal attack. Alright, retinue. Retinue means entourage. I have told you, that's entourage. It's not entourage. I've come across people who pronounce that word as entourage. That's wrong. Entourage. Entourage. Even not entourage, but entourage. Alright. Then the next one is scathing. Scathing. That means damaging. Damaging. Stringent. When people talk of stringent measure that have been taken to redress something, stringent measure to be taken to redress, or that has been taken to redress something. So stringent means strict, stiff, and severe. Then we have cautious. Cautious, respectful, well-mannered. Then stratagems. Then plans or measures. Maybe you want to attack people. Now you have to get your own stratagems, plans or measures. I've left one untouched. Now this autopsy. Autopsy, it just means That's a kind of medical something they carry out to find out the cause of the death of a person. That's post-mortem examination. When the death of that person is shrouded in secrecy, now you want to know what has caused the death. Because he wasn't sick or she wasn't sick, now you carry out what you call autopsy or post-mortem examination to determine what has killed the person. So maybe heart attack, maybe cardiac arrest, maybe poison, maybe anything they cause it. So we have cautioned. When you are cautioned, you are warned. You are called to order. You are called to order. Then we have culprit. Culprit simply means offender, wrongdoer, or delinquent. Then we have robust. People can robust suggestion. When you suggest somebody a suggestion, when you give somebody a suggestion, why don't you do it now? And the person carries it out and it works out well. It comes out fine. Yeah? Thank you for that robust suggestion. Robust means healthy and strong. All right, mitigate. To mitigate simply means to alleviate, to lessen or to reduce. Look at that lesson. It's not L-E-S-S-O-N. Rather, it is L-E-S-S-E-N. To lessen the pain. Now, you can take this drug. It will lessen that pain. Take the drug, and then you'll be fine. Then the next one, cautionary. Now, let me have a cautionary look at that book. Cautionary means quick. It is not something you are going to spend hours on or days on. But very briefly, you just look at it, maybe skip through it and all that. Then we have deterrent. So that man has to be punished in order to serve as deterrent to others, who may want to do the same thing. All right. Then we look at the next one, thriving. Very simple. Thriving simply means flourish. Now, I hope your business is thriving. Yeah, we thank God and all that. So it means it's going on fine. So that's what is meant by thriving. Flourish. Thank you. Let's continue. Let's see more. So I will advise you to look for more, but let's look at this last set. Now we have gradually means slowly, bit by bit, little by little, step by step. Then prodding, when you prod somebody, now you have to do it. You just have to do it. You are prodding. Maybe he or she doesn't want to do it. That's what we call prodding. You must do it. You just do it. Alright, prodding means prompting, persuading, urging, and coaxing. Then we have devastated. The death of the man really devastated the man, the girl or the lady, shattered, distressed, upset, and worried. Look at that word, worried. Not war, worried. Barrier number 10 in your test of oral. Alright, we have luckless. Luckless means unfortunate, not unfortunate. Please take note. Unfortunate. So that's luckless. Unlucky, ill-fated, hapless. Then we have consult. When you consult, you refer to, you turn to, you check through. So meticulous. To be meticulous simply means to be careful. Somebody who cares about minute and infinitesimal details. You hardly please such people. Very meticulous in man. Now, we have painstaking and diligent. Alright, terrifying, frightening, fearful, intimidating. Then we have the next one, critical, serious, grave. Now the grave we are referring to here is not the burial ground. Grave means very serious. Grave means very. We have another one which is meant for burial ground. All right, cemetery. Cemetery. Now we have disheveled. That's untidy. Then lucid. Clear. The handwriting is not lucid. So imagine, when you imagine, you assume, you presume, you think, you feel. That is imagine. Then imagine, the past tense of those words are used. Then reliable. To be reliable means to be dependable. When you are dependable, you are reliable. Now we have virtuous. Virtuous can mean righteous, it can mean kind, it can be humane, it can be good. It can be good. Now the opposite of this is vicious. Vicious. There you have virtuous. Alright, luminous. Luminous, something that is shining, very bright in color. Very bright in color, very shiny. So that's luminous. So you have specified, it's like prescribed. So prescribed, stipulated, marked out, and defined. Abhor. This is abhor. Please take note, not harbor. We have abhor, but this is abhor. Abhor means hate, dislike, or detest. Alright, collapsed, crumbled, went down, or crashed. The building that was built a week ago has collapsed. So, crumbled. So, showed up, turned up, appeared, or arrived. I showed up, turned up, appeared, or arrived. Then we have inordinate. Inordinate means excessive. People have inordinate ambition. That's why some people go to the ridiculous extent of kidnapping people to make money. Very inordinate ambition. All right. So we have dominant, outstanding or important. Outstanding, important. Now we have emanate. Emanate means originate. Emanate means originate. Applaud, commend. Of course, we have had a look at the noun form of this, which is applause. But this applaud, commend. Steadily. Steadily means secretly, surreptitiously, or covertly. Perhaps you don't want people to see you or you don't want to be known. Then we have delicious. This refers to food we eat. Delicious means tasty, sweet, luscious, or mouth-watering. Mouth-watering entertainment or food. Alright? To verify means to find out, to confirm, or to ascertain. So, I want you to go through these words, and of course some other words too, that can be found in your textbooks, because nobody knows which of these are coming up. But I assure you that there's no way you will come across words that are not part of what I've given you. So I'm assuring you rather that there's no problem. So you are going to have a very fantastic and very joyous result at the end of the day. Thank you very much.